What's up, fellas? My name is Dominic Quartuccio, and I'm the co-host of the Great Man Within podcast, a show for high-performing men living their fullest potential. Now, the 100 Push-Up Challenge is an incredible way to test yourself, to see what you're capable of physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. So it's my hope that by watching this video, you will be inspired to push your edges beyond what you were previously capable of. Now, since watching me do 132 consecutive push-ups in a row would be painfully boring, I thought a better use of your time would be for me to teach you how you could do 100 consecutive push-ups while watching me do my own. So over the course of this video, I will be narrating how I trained for this 100 push-up challenge and how you can do it for yourself, and just as importantly, why you would want to take on such a Herculean task. Let's go. Now, because I want to help you succeed at this challenge, everything I'm about to teach you in this video, I've distilled down into a simple, free, downloadable PDF for you called How to Do the 100 Push-Up Challenge, 4 non-obvious training tips to push you over the edge, which you can download at my website, dominicq.com/resources, and it's linked in the notes below. I've also recorded a podcast breaking down how I train my body and mind to set new personal push-up records. You can find that episode at the Great Man Within podcast with the same title, How to Do the 100 Push-Up Challenge, which is also linked below. All right, back to the push-ups. Now, I'm not a fitness instructor, nor am I an elite athlete like some of these other monsters you're gonna see on YouTube. Back in 2015, I'd never done more than 50 push-ups in a row in my life. The idea of doing 100 seemed so lofty and unachievable that I almost didn't bother. But something inside of me was actually inspired by the idea of going after something that big, even knowing I might fail. In fact, the knowing that I might fail was a part of the allure. So, after training for months, I ended up knocking out 105 push-ups in a row. That journey to 105 taught me some of the most valuable lessons in my life about dedication, perseverance, developing mental toughness, and going after unreasonable goals. In fact, I credit that experience for giving me the courage to leave a 15-year corporate career in financial services back in 2016, the year after I did the challenge, to live a life of my own design as an international speaker, now a 2-time author and podcaster, helping high-performing men live their fullest potential. In this video, you're watching me do 132 push-ups in a row, which is a new personal record, with far better form and radically improved breathing tempo than the 105 I did 5 years ago. I'm doing this video to inspire you in the hopes you'll go after something big and unreasonable in your life on your way to surprising yourself by what you're capable of. Now, as you saw, I did my first 45 push-ups in one burst that took 42 seconds. It takes me 6 minutes and 18 seconds to grind out the last 87. That's a long time to be doing push-ups. That's why the mental training aspect is so important in this challenge. If your mindset isn't trained to endure temporary pain and fatigue, you will give up long before your capability. Muhammad Ali sums this up beautifully. When he was asked about how many sit-ups he does in a workout session, he said, "I don't count the sit-ups. I only start counting when it starts hurting, because they're the only ones that count. That's what makes you a champion." Wise words from a legend. The 100 Push-Up Challenge trains you to remain calm and grounded in the eye of the storm. And that training carries over into the most important aspects of your business and your life. Now, for the physically gifted, doing 100 consecutive push-ups may be nothing more than a mere physical exercise. For the rest of us, climbing the summit of 100 push-ups in a row requires the summoning of all of your best energy, physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. From a physical perspective, you need a training plan, which I followed at 100pushups.com, linked below. Their training program is useful, but much more aggressive in terms of a timeline than I recommend, especially for first-timers of this challenge. For example, their training program is 6 weeks long, and I recommend you give yourself at least 90 days, which is 13 weeks. The first 2 weeks alone, you need to focus on getting your push-up form in order. I see a lot of terrible push-ups and push-up form on the internet. With as many push-ups as you'll be doing, even a small thing like dropping your head can lead to neck pain, or flaring an elbow too far can lead to shoulder issues. Trust me, I see too many guys bail out of this challenge because they've injured themselves by overdoing it too early on or by not taking proper push-up form seriously. In fact, that's what happened to me back in 2015 when I did this challenge for the first time. I tweaked my shoulder something fierce by training too hard, too fast, with improper form. I actually had to suspend my challenge for 2 months to recover, having to start over completely from scratch. But this time, the second time I've done this challenge, I was injury-free, and I bested my previous record by 27 push-ups, from 105 to 132, what you're watching now. Mentally and emotionally, you have to befriend your inner critic and start programming your mind with empowered thoughts, especially if you feel more doubt than conviction about your ability to hit 100 push-ups. I've seen men add a dozen push-ups or more from one set to the next simply by switching their self-defeating inner dialogue to something more empowering. And then finally, summoning your spiritual energy may be the most important factor in this entire equation. The way I define spiritual energy is finding meaning in something bigger than just yourself. Another name for that is purpose. What is the significance of climbing this mountain of 100 push-ups beyond doing an impressive number of push-ups? Trust me, you'll need to rely on purpose when you don't feel like training, or when you're struggling in the 80s and 90s and your body wants you to give up. I teach men to devote this challenge to something bigger than themselves. I personally go so far as to write down a dedication for the challenge. For example, my dedication for these 132 push-ups was, quote, "I'm doing these push-ups for all of the men who want to feel their inner power and potential and may one day be inspired by this video to stop thinking about it and actually go after and get it," end quote. You better believe that there were many times when the pain and fatigue in my body were calling for me to quit, that my purpose in inspiring you was the only thing keeping me going. What is your purpose for this challenge? As I near the end of my physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual limits, you'll see me giving everything I've got to churn out just one more push-up. Make sure that you stick around to the very end of this video where I'll give you direction on where to get the free resources one last time that I mentioned for how to do 100 push-ups in a row for yourself.